right, we are back with the infamous Mary Hayes. That does bring joy to the table, and we appreciate that all the time. Hey, influencers I found are amazing. Sometimes they come for a split second at the right time, right place.
Yeah.
People. Sometimes it's a longer period, but different size, shapes, languages, and whatnot. Can you share with us like one or two people that have really influenced you in your life?
Can I say three?
You can.
I'll say three. So once my daughter, Jessie, I have two daughters. And one night I picked Jess up from kindergarten one day, and her teacher said to me that she'd given the kids free time in class to draw whatever they wanted. And the little girl said to Jess, I want to draw God. How do you draw God? And Jessie said, just draw the whole world. That'll just about cover it. So I'm driving Jess home. She's in her little car seat. And I said, I really like what you said, draw the whole world. And she said that sometimes she thought the world was God's brain and the people were God's ideas walking around. And for me, I never could forget it, that when I meet someone that's kind of challenging, I just tell myself, well, you're one of God's ideas walking around. And then the next person that really influenced me and is part of like what I do is John Muir, who was a traveler and who actually was influential in creating America's park system. And I fell passionately in love with John Muir and read every single word he ever wrote. And the story that impacted me the most for my life's work was he talked about, walking through this meadow and hearing this crazy noise and coming upon sequoias being cut down and tried to put through a planking machine. And to try to get a sequoia through a planking machine, they had to basically sawdust a great amount of the sequoia. And for me, it's just resonant of what happens to human beings in the workplace, especially like our kind of frontline human beings, who come in and do those sort of jobs where they're planks, and maybe a great part of their gifts, a great part of their imagination and analysis and minds are just getting left for sawdust, and we're just using them for planks. Now that sounded a little rough the way I said it, but
No, that was amazing.
And then what happened was I read Hernando de Soto, Mystery of Capital, which is the most influential moment of my life, was reading that book, because he talked about deed and title to property. And I was really like Toronto kid, Marshall McLuhan, and I was all about the knowledge economy. And I was like, well, what about deed and title to knowledge in the knowledge economy? And that set me on the path of how do we map competency at the front line of the economy? And how do we create a system that recognizes and where you can exchange those skills and competencies that you have in a more objective way? Yeah. Those are my three.
Those are pretty good, and I'm trying to process being one of God's ideas, actually.
You are one of God's ideas walking around, Mark.
I love it.
I tell you that.
You're the best. That was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
It's a pleasure. I want to know who yours are.
You want to know who mine are?
Yeah.
Well, really quick, because it shouldn't be for this video. Mine are, believe it or not, Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt.
Wow.
And I won't do the whole thing right now, but being Jewish and whatnot, and having seen him in Israel when he spoke to thousands of Israelis, that was amazing to me what happened there. Another one is John Lennon, just because, it's just good to imagine, all the time.
So
and the third is my grandfather, who always explained to me, I used to take walks with him, and he used to always smile at everybody. And I used to say, how do you know all these people? And he said, I don't know all these people, but I notice when I smile at them, they smile back, and I'm happy and they're happy. They stop to talk, and it's great. And I realized, kindness is a wonderful thing.
Wow, those are great influences, and you embody their shining example.
Oh, you tell that to all the guys.
Thanks so much, Mark. thanks for this. Thanks for listening to me and caring about what I think, and thanks for inspiring me to be a leader.
You are a leader who cares for sure. Thanks a lot.
Take care.